The Catholic Morning Show.
We're back here on Iowa Catholic Radio, the Catholic Morning Show. I'm Bo Bonner with Alexia Baker, Ayden, Pugh, and Brady Grimm. Hoping you're having a blessed day. Thank you for stopping by here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Make sure to join us tomorrow at 7 a.m. We'll be speaking with John Gaffney and Dr. Andrew Swafford. We are about 15 minutes away from the end of the show, the top of the new hour, so let's turn to our final guests of the day. We have with us in studio Julie Curry and Dodie Baumann, Des Moines chapter of the National Association of Pastoral Musicians. Julie and Dodie, thanks for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Sure.
We're pleased to be here.
We're glad to have you back. Now, if people don't know what the National Association of Pastoral Musicians is, you mind informing us a bit about what that group does?
The National Association of Pastoral Musicians, commonly known as NPM, is an organization that was originated in 1976 by Father Virgil Funk, and it's dedicated to helping musicians who serve the Catholic Church enhance their skills and understanding of the liturgy. Absolutely
wonderful. So how long have you guys had a Des Moines chapter?
Dodie is one of the founding board members, so she can talk about that.
We started in 2018, and we received our temporary charter in 2019 and our permanent charter in 2020. Whoa. So we're a very young chapter.
Well, good. Well, as a young chapter, you also have a lot of stuff coming up. So what are things that if people, if they want to interact with and hear the benefits of the National Association of Pastoral Musicians, what are some of the events you guys have coming up?
Yes, we have a choir that we're organizing for the Memorial Day Mass that the diocese puts on every year at Glendale Cemetery in Des Moines. It's a beautiful outdoor pastoral liturgy and honoring those who served for us and gave their lives so that we could have our lives today.
And do you happen to know the exact date Memorial Day is?
It is May 25th.
There you go. So people, Glendale, a beautiful setting to be able to hear this goes along. So what else, chapter events coming up then? And you talked about the work that has gone into some of these events as well.
Yes. Well, we just had a coffee in April to just have a social and just get to know other musicians in the diocese and learn about the benefits of our association. And we made a lot of good connections. We know some parishes have absences in their accompanimists, so they're looking for substitutes. And it's just amazing what word of mouth does to help fill in those gaps.
Absolutely. Well, you think about what people imagine, they say what Mass is, and of course they think about the architecture. They think about what the priest does and homilies and of course the liturgy itself. But so much of it is music, and the interaction of music and theology and its reality for so many people is made incarnate, right? They run into it, as it were, in Mass. But that's something that maybe people don't understand the efforts that go into that. Mm-hmm. What is it that hopefully, the National Association of Pastoral Musicians not only help the musicians out, but help us in the pews understand how central and how fundamental this is to so much of Catholic worship?
Yes, that is so true, that music is central and fundamental to Catholic worship. And what NPM attempts to do is not only train a person musically with their skills and abilities, but also with sensitivity to the liturgy. How does the music fit the readings of the day? How does the music help the person in the pew worship? And so that is the central goal of NPM.
Well, so what? Oh, go ahead.
And that was the focus of our last September event in Council Bluffs. St. Patrick's hosted us, and Father Bob Dufford, one of the famous composers of Catholic music, and we're just so honored to have him in our diocese. He came and gave us a talk about what are all the considerations of picking music for each part of the liturgy and each Sunday or each liturgy or feast day. And oh boy, there was like 17 considerations. So it's a learning curve, and we need each other to support each other in that learning. And that's what the association does. We have awesome webinars, courses, certifications, that kind of thing to help you grow in your faith. I think that's been the best part of my joining is my faith formation.
Well, and when people do that, when members go, oh, this is something I want to join or find out more about, what are the various avenues that they do that to approach the NPM?
Yes, one avenue is our Facebook page, the Des Moines chapter, NPM. And so that's easy enough. And we are part of the... we have an email address of DesMoinesIA@npm.org.
Wonderful. So with other things, you mentioned the talk in September. What are some of the things every year that you regularly try to do as an association, as a chapter?
It kind of varies, but the most popular probably are what we call the choral readings, and that's where we get together and sing new songs that we're not familiar with, that publishers have brought out. And we get to try it, and we have different conductors give us tips about how to conduct if you're a director. They also about, okay, tenors, this is your job in this song. And then the whole intent of the song as a match to that liturgy and how to approach it.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, in that regard, too, when we think about the various musicians, the various choirs that make up our different parishes, vastly different backgrounds for a lot of people. Some people have trained for years. Some people, this has been a way for them to finally get involved in church, and they're learning. How does the National Association sort of hold that intention, right? That when you have the diocesan musicians at particular parishes, that they come from all sorts of backgrounds. What's the hope about bringing them together in a more integrated way?
Good question. It is interesting to see how many of the musicians serving the Catholic Church in Iowa are volunteers, not formally trained. I mean, we certainly do have some very skilled, formally trained musicians in the state as well, but so many that help in our churches are simply volunteers. They love their church. They love to sing. They love to play an instrument. And so they're there serving the church. You're so right about the backgrounds being so varied. Some are just, formally trained, have master's degrees in music. We do have some composers in our diocese as well. And it's interesting to see, when we get together as a group, it's interesting to see the differentiation in the skill levels among those who are serving the church.
I think it gets back to the offering our gifts, our talents, our time, and our treasure toward learning. And I find myself, I'm putting more money into my education as a musician, in my faith formation, and my time into this ministry.
Absolutely. Well, it's easy to wax eloquent about music, certainly so, for multiple reasons. It's just so basic to who we are as human beings, such a unique thing that we do, where an incarnate thing we do, the body and soul, the great ideas becoming flesh through the breath, through our manipulation of instruments. You can go on and on about this, but it's precisely something that strikes at the heart of people. They talk about how people who sometimes have memory loss, some of the last things they'll remember is songs from their youth and things like this. But that to me, I would seem to be the hope that you guys are trying to say, is that music plays a historical role in Christianity, a central role in the liturgy, a central reality as humans. So let's make the effort together to try to figure out how to, like you said, bring people together, bring people up, whatever level they start at, and see that through here in Des Moines, here in the local way.
Very well said.
Now, before I forget, there was a group of people. You said you wanted to take time to thank some people, and I want to make sure you have time to do that.
Yes, the Memorial Day Mass is outdoors, so you can imagine moving an entire liturgy outdoors takes a lot of people. And there's several committees. One is the liturgy coordinator, Deacon Dan Maxey, and he brings all the needed things for the Mass. The Knights of Columbus do a procession in, and the color guard, and it is so moving to have them come in so silently, and that's coordinated by David Miller. We also have a contact with the city, with the cemetery and traffic. We also are coordinated overall by our Vicar of Divine Worship, Father Trevor Shequin, and we're really pleased that he's going to be able to be the celebrant this year.
Wonderful.
And then there's even an off-duty patrol officer for safety. So all of these people go to a tremendous amount of work and putting up all those chairs outdoors and taking them all down, the microphones for everything. And again, bringing all the altar servers and the co-celebrants and that kind of thing. So.
Absolutely. So we're talking about the Diocesan Memorial Day Mass on May 25th. So when is it during the day, and with parking and things like that? What should people expect as they're coming up to the cemetery?
The service starts at 10 a.m. So we always advise come early, but not too early. So probably 9:30ish. And we have people there that are controlling the traffic. So use the entrance on the University Avenue entrance to Glendale, and they'll just show you all the way, and you'll see it. We'll be up in the priest section, and we face the east, so it's a beautiful morning light.
Absolutely wonderful. Now, before we let you go, just about 30 seconds or so, one more time, if people want to find out more about the National Association of Pastoral Musicians, particularly the Des Moines chapter here, where can they go find out more and contact you all?
Yes, Des Moines IA at NPM.org.
Absolutely wonderful. We have had the honor of having Julie Curry and Dodie Baumann, the Des Moines chapter, National Association of Pastoral Musicians, talking about the Memorial Day Mass coming up on May 25th, but also all of the things that they're doing here in and around the Diocese of Des Moines. Julie, Dodie, thank you for coming on the Catholic Morning Show. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen to the Catholic Morning Show weekdays at 7 a.m. Central on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, iowacatholicradio.com, or the Iowa Catholic Radio app.